Hey, Nathan here from PH Studios, and welcome to the third podcast episode. This podcast was recorded on January 31st, 2013, and this is to discuss the launching of the website. There will be no Minecraft in this podcast episode. So, the website will be released in a few minutes after I get this video finished. I just want to discuss a few things, so I will get this video finished. I will upload it to the site, and I'll upload it to YouTube, and then I will put a post in the announcement forums so you can watch the video. So I just want to discuss a few things, and the community is going to be up. It's ready to go. There are a few issues I need to work out on the pages section, which is the home page, and I've filled in the information, what you need to know. And all this stylizing can be changed later. And then I added the tutorials. Now, this is what I might change later. I do not like the screenshots I chose for these ones, so I tried one more on this, and you still can't really see it. So I'm going to do something else for these series thumbnails and the game thumbnails. But you should be able to click to them, and you should be able to go to a page. Now, I did not get enough time to go through and do like the engine series, so if you click that, it'll take you to the YouTube playlist, because there's about 35 videos, and I need to build the page like you see it here. So some of them will be in page format like this. It'll tell you the runtime, and you can click the playlist and you can see information. So most of them will just give you information. You can see the runtime, and some of them you can get more details, like when I provide the downloads for premium members and anybody that subscribes, there will be a download link here. And that download link is going to take you to the download section if you go to the forums. And if you're a premium member, there will be a list of files here, and you can also go to the download section. And I created a few groups for tutorial series where you can download the series in whole, and I did sub-series in that. So the Space Shooter, that's the Complete Games 2, and then the Content series. You can download both of those, and I just imported those from my computer here, so that's why it just says file imported. And then if we go back here, the episodes, where you can download individual episodes, where episode 1, I want to download the introduction, and I went through and added the tags for each one of these. So this is going to be a long process. As you see in the other section, I did not add any tags yet or description. It's just called CG2 spaceshooter.zip. So it'll be a lot of stuff to get everything going, but I'm just going to go ahead and make the site live so you can use the community and tell me what you think as I develop it. And it will tell you the file size right here, 1.05 gigabytes. Viewed once, because I'm viewing it now. You can follow, you can report, is this broken? And if you're an admin, you can do all this stuff. Okay, so that's what the download episode is going to do. And then you can download the entire series if that is enabled, which I do not have the entire series in the download section for the basic training series. Now, the benefit of doing it this way, if I click, let's say, introduction, I click that, it'll take you to the YouTube video for that introduction. And it takes you to the playlist. So you can keep on, it'll keep on playing. It'll go to episode 2 whenever you're done with episode 1. And it'll keep on going. You can skip ahead and do all that stuff. Now, in the case of the early videos, in this case, the paddles, which is one of the first videos I ever made, on YouTube, I was only, at that time, I think it was in 2007, 10 minutes was the limit. And I did not want to end right at 10 minutes and cut you off. I wanted to pick a appropriate time, maybe a little bit, a sort of a buffer, a gap. So I'll record, let's say the video is 11 minutes. For part 1, I'll make it 7 minutes. And then part 2, I'll make it 4 minutes. So you get to hear and see the last part of the first part. So you're not stuck, what was the first part, where did it end, and all that stuff. So that is why most of these will have a part 1 at 9 minutes 31 seconds. Some of them will have 30, 46. I just picked an appropriate time when I can cut off part 1. Some of these will have part 3. Even some of them will have 4 parts. Now, in that case, I did not want to create 40 entries for this series. So let's say finishing the menu screen. When you click that, it'll take you to part 1. Part 2 and part 3 will follow in the playlist. So there's part 2 and part 3. So that was in the early days where I had strict restrictions on 10 minutes was the max that I could have for YouTube. Basic training was a little bit better, mostly because that's when they had the 15 minute. So if I click movement part 1, that was actually a part 1. So you get the idea. If you click the name of the episode, you can go to the YouTube and see that. Now, let's take the networking series, for example. There is no artwork for now, so I'll need to update that over the weekend. There are no downloads available for this series. As you can see, when I need to give you some resources, it will be in the description of the episode. Here's the source code for the relay server is old and the byte relay server is newer. So if you click that, you can download the relay server or the byte relay server. And then in the last episode, I give you a few resources. Latest server, GUID enabled server. You can browse the source here and see everything that way. So anytime you need a resource, I'll add that in the description of the video. Now, because I had limited time with everything this week, some of these long series, and I didn't even get to some of these short series. If you click them, it'll take you to the playlist on YouTube. Okay, games. Again, I do not like these screenshots, so I'll think of something else over the weekend. And if you click that, it'll give you the screenshot, a short description, what are the features these games have, and how you download it. That's pretty much the structure on all the games. Podcast, I didn't have time to implement the structure for that. By the way, I'm working on a database, so this will all be automatic. I just need to fill in the database, and it'll be good to go. Instead of, right now, I'm just creating static HTML pages for what you see here. This is a static HTML page with the header and footer as the wrapper. So once I get the database set up and working right, where I can provide, lists, links, anything else, downloads, I will then have an automated PHP page where it will connect to the database, look at the ID you passed into the query string. I'm sure you've seen those before, definitely on the forums. Like let's go to the trash. That's a query string, the question mark. And I'm sure you've seen those in the old style forums where I had like cat is equal to 9, where it says we're going to the 9th category, and forums with the forum ID is 11023. So it goes to category 9 and the forum ID of 11023. So those are the query strings that we can use, and I'll implement that. So you just pass it the ID. Well, you don't. The link will. The link will be set up to do this automatically. The link will have the ID of the series, in this case, basic training, and then it will connect to the database, get the title of the series, description, the link to the playlist, the download series link, and all the episodes it needs, and it should be good to go. Okay, the forums. I mostly wanted to get the forums going because that's a community aspect. I know a lot of you like to ask questions and participate in the community, so I just wanted to get that first. That took priority, and then obviously I didn't have time to implement every single page on here, but I implemented quite a bit of it. So, if you find anything, let me know. Post in the help and input. If you were a premium member, post in the help and input or send me a message. Just click my name and then send me a message. It should be right here. I can't see it because I can't send myself a message. And then if you were a staff member, just let me know. Try to keep it the same name. You can always change it later. That way I can verify. Now, if you were a premium member and you want to change your name, go ahead and register with your new name. Tell me the address you used when you sent the PayPal. And then I'll verify through PayPal that it was you, and then I'll upgrade your account. And then you'll have access to the premium discussion, the premium area, premium content, and then all the downloads. Okay, so I will release this site. I need to finalize a few more things. I'll need to upload this video, post this in the announcements section. And by the way, I know I mentioned this last video, but I'm telling you to tell me everything you encounter and if there's an issue. This will remain white unless you guys have a severe frustration with it because it's using an iframe. It has one CSS file, and I want to keep the light theme if you want to use it. I want to keep that theme for the people that like to use the light style. So, I mean, that looks pretty good on the light theme, but it looks out of place on the dark theme, and it's only using one CSS file. And again, the drop-down menu, there's a little bit you can do to stylize that, but not much. So let me know if anything's out of the ordinary, and just post that in the help and input section, and I'll get to that over the weekend. I might get some time tomorrow to check up on it. Go ahead and post anything you want on this. I want to get the community going. Anything you think might be constructive. You just want to talk about, I don't know, did you try a new restaurant? Anything you want to talk about to get these posts going. I wanted to start completely fresh. So there's no posts anywhere except for the first one that obviously came with the board, and that was deleted. Okay, so I think that's it for this announcement. Go ahead and use the site. Let me know if you find any styling issues. I'll be fixing as much as I can over the weekend, getting all the pages set up and changing all the thumbnails. I'll need to create different ones instead of using the thumbnails from the either tutorial or the game. So I'll be creating custom thumbnails for those and actually implement the pages for TD Engine, TD Game, and XNA C# Quick Tips along with the podcast. By the way, the content usage rights, any video I release is under the Creative Commons license. So that means that you can use my video as long as you give credit and not for commercial, and you can share it, and as long as you give me credit and you don't want money off of it, you can use my videos however you want. For anything else officially released by PH Studios, remember the forums can release other stuff, as the forum members can release other stuff as well. And if you go into the forums, you'll have to ask them for permission. But anything I release that is officially PH Studios licensing, so any of the graphics I release, source code, music, sound effects, any sort of content that are not the videos like this podcast or tutorials, those are all completely free. So the graphics, source code, music, sound effects, After Effects, templates, those type of things, those are completely free for you to use, no restrictions at all. You can download it, modify it, whatever you want to do, upload it to your site, whatever you want. I have no restrictions at all. If you want to give me credit, that's fine, but I do not require it. However, we do indemnify ourselves from any misuse, infringement, and liability. So if you download it and use it for your own use, whatever you did with it, we do not take any result from that misuse, infringement, or liability. And if you have any questions, just contact the forums, post in the help and input section. Okay, I just wanted to make that since we actually have a license now. And we did before, I just mentioned it in the videos. Just no restrictions, just use my content however you wish. Okay, well, that pretty much does it. I will upload this video to YouTube, make the announcement, and then I will turn on the site. Keep in mind about the issues I discussed. I will take care of these. I know I mentioned that give me all your feedback possible, but I don't want to get 1,000 messages about Siri's thumb everywhere. I realize those are there, and I will change that to something a little bit better than these. I just don't like these. You can barely see. It just looks like a blue box. I mean, you can barely see the game elements, where it's a paddle and the little ball. Can't even see the ball, and you can barely see the enemies. You can't even see the player or even the text. This one's a little bit better because it's full graphics, but I'm just gonna do something custom for those. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the new site. Let me know about any issues you come up with, and I'll see you in the forum.